on the Buying Space channel. Good morning. Yesterday, I was at Johnny Roots Reseller, and I bought all this and a little bit more to the auction. My Tuesday gag is about done because nobody asked me any questions on Tuesday. It's like nobody wants to know. So anyway, the Q, I guess is a good alternative lighting source. I have something else. When I get a little bit more room, I can put out. But I was on New England Cajun Roots Reseller yesterday, selling, and tried to sell this seahorse, and he's staying. But I'm on it to sell on Thursday. So today, I get to decide what I'm going to bring to the sale on Thursday. And I don't know if, vintage, catchy, or clutchy, or what is it called, stuff is in, or if my prices are wrong. But Johnny told me, he said, come backstage on one of the morning shows and we can talk. So he said I had improved, which I didn't feel like I'd improved any. But it was nice to hear somebody say that I've gotten better. So, but he doesn't use StreamYard. And I had to turn my camera. See, right now, the back of my camera is next to the stand, and my screen part is facing my living room. And when I go on his StreamYard service, it's backwards. And I have to put my screen on the face of the stand. And it's a good thing I got out this different stand last week when I started back doing my lives. Or was that Monday? Oh my gosh, it just seems, Tom seems so surreal right now. And there's so much happening. But anyway, so I don't like putting my screen on my stand because then I can't see anything. And I'm doing all this with just a phone. Now I have purchased a couple of laptops in quite the weird ways, but it's okay. I got a couple of laptops now. Not really versed in using them. Everything has changed on them. I hadn't had a laptop for 5 years, and you know how fast technology changes. I might want to read something from this book before I put it up. Hang on. Good morning. Let's see who we got in here. Good morning, Jessica. So good to see you. I love that you share things out so much. You are just a blessing to everybody in the community. And Betty's here. I wonder what Betty's cooking up today. Betty's a wonderful cook. And Jessica Dumpster Dives Girls, she does dumpster diving. And she does just a variety of things on her channel. And the Fisherman's Lounge, so good to see you. How's the weather in Scotland? Ruby, oh my goodness, I feel like I got a full house. Thank you so much, Ruby, for dropping by. I was getting ready to read from this book that didn't sell at the auction I was at yesterday. Just randomly picked something out of it because this book is Reader's Digest. It's called Fun and Laughter. I do not own the rights to anything in this book. So if there is a credit to an author or writer, I will shout that out. But this is a bunch of little excerpts from the Daily Bread. Now, here we go. This says, payday. Maybe they call it take-home pay because there is no other place you can afford to go with it. And this was from Franklin P. James. And this is it was from a Saturday evening section in the Daily Bread. And the Daily Bread was neat. I don't know if it's still being published, but you could send in articles to the Daily Bread, and if it got published, they would pay you. I don't know if they still do that or not. That might be something I should consider, because I have a lot of little eclectic stories. Why do they call take-home pay? That's an interesting question. I guess I need to look for the short joke section. Because if I read anything from this, I would want to pre-read it before I read it live. Just because you don't know, what you're going to run across. Especially in something vintage like this. They didn't have the same rules we have on YouTube. Like, there's certain words that I can't say that might be in this book because it's from a different era. This says, Vacation Haze. The real problem of your leisure is to keep other people using it. That's like I've been watching these Veronica videos, and Veronica is working in most of the videos in the corporate world. And I had the same issues, some of the same issues as Veronica. Like, I work for a corporation. I guess I shouldn't say the corporation, but they're certainly Fortune 500. And I would go into the customer service floor, which those customer service floors don't exist anymore because all of those jobs are overseas now. But I would go in, and they would want me to come to a barbecue on my own time. And, a lot of times me and my husband had plans, or I had plans for something else, or maybe I just wanted to relax on my Saturday. But if you didn't go to their party, you weren't accepting of their culture. And it's like they always push that, oh, we're family around here, and a lot of times they would say that right before they'd fire somebody. It's like it wasn't good to hear. But it was, because then they wanted you to be social, and they gave people, instead of bonuses, they would give you a little button or a little ribbon with a slogan on it, and make up a reward or award for you. And they would give out these buttons all the time. I don't know where I would put those buttons, but anyway, a lot of them were kind of amusing. But you don't go to work for buttons. You go to work for money. And so I like watching those Veronica videos. I forget who the artist is that does those, but I really enjoy those a lot. Let's see who else has come in. I guess I just need to move my camera over here. Good morning, Robin. How you doing? It's so good to see you here. I passed out yesterday, and I didn't make it over to Stephanie, the Grove's Bargain Emporium. She was having a live last night. And also I was trying to make it to David Lynn, Principal Prepper, because he did a thing that's very interesting. He has a channel that has like 1,900 subs. And he was putting out shorts, and all of his shorts almost are him showing dinner or lunch or breakfast on a plate. And he was just getting 25 to 30 views, sometimes less than that, on his shorts. and the algorithm wasn't being kind to his channel. So he had a friend. Let me see if I can. His friend's name is David, too. Let me think of his channel. I could talk about his ex-wife a little because she has a channel. And I watched them when they were live together. And it's kind of funny to see what each one of them's saying. But what was his name? But anyway, he advised him, he had a backup channel that he only had like 20, 30 subs on it. He didn't really ever use that channel to go live or to talk about stuff. So his friend told him to rest his channel for a month. So he didn't do any lives, he didn't post any shorts, he didn't post any videos for a whole month. And he went to his alternate channel and built it up to like 65 to 75 subs and in a month, and from just like 20. So he grew that channel just a little bit, and then he came back to his main channel. And his first time on his main channel, I believe it was last night or the night before, and I passed out. I couldn't stay awake. What's funny is tomorrow night at 8:30, I'm going to be at an auction on panel selling. And usually at 8:30, I'm almost always passed out by 8:30. I mean, I have to have some really strong coffee to stay up really past sundown. And so it's going to be highly interesting. I probably will behave somewhat like I'm drunk at this auction. So, I'm already kind of giddy because I passed out early yesterday, and then I woke up around 10:30, and then I was up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I thought, well, I was supposed to have delivery from Amazon from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. So I was like, well, I need to stay awake for my delivery. So I tried to stay awake, and I passed out at 3:30, but I woke up around 6, and there hadn't been any delivery yet. So I was happy, and I checked my account to make sure that there hadn't been an attempted delivery or anything like that. So I'm still waiting on that delivery. And when I was getting ready to go live, I'm like, I don't know if I should go live because I could get that delivery. Of course, while I've been live, I get phone calls. I don't know what it is. When I was at my auction yesterday, I got 4 phone calls, and I got a knock at the door. I'm already handled the knock at the door. But I got, from the time that I was in the back room until I was done, I got 4 phone calls. And I had made phone calls earlier in the day. So using your phone that you use for everything else is very hazardous. I forgot to put it on a do not disturb because I've done that before. And when I do that and I'm waiting on important phone calls, sometimes they don't call you back. So I didn't know what to do. So that I knew at the end of the live who had called me and who I needed to call back. One of them, I didn't know why, but the rest of them, I knew what was going on with that call. So I don't know. It's just like when you go to the bathroom and you got a little kid, they follow you, and it's just like I could sit here for hours and nothing happened except for, what I'm processing, what I'm into. And then if I get a phone call, I get a knock on the door, and it just seems like everything happens at once. And I'm still waiting on that delivery. So if they usually don't knock at the door, so I can just check outside after I'm done. But and then if it's not there, I can look at my phone and see if they're on their way. The delivery window was from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. And yes, I did it on purpose because usually I don't pass out that early in the afternoon, and I'm awake by 4. So if I sleep solid and I go to bed 8 or 9 o'clock, especially at 8, I can be up at 4 easily. And I usually don't sleep a solid 8 hours. So I usually, have some relaxation time, that I'm not asleep, I'm awake, I'm just chilling. So, how are you all today? Did any of you see me at the auction? I was at Johnny K. Henry's Reseller yesterday at 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then tomorrow I'll be at Grandma's Closet. And who is Dana comes on. I don't know what that time that auction starts. I'm on at 8:30. So I am the caboose. Usually Tooch Man is the caboose on most of the auctions, but Thursday I'm going to be the caboose at Grandma's Closet. So I'm kind of excited about it. It's the Classy Crap Auction. And in the Classy Crap Auction this month, we're celebrating Pride Month. And everyone on panel is either LGBTQ in some way, or they're representing someone that's LGBTQ. And in my case, I'm representing Marty, who's my adult child. And the reason I say it that way is Marty is non-binary. So Marty is not my daughter. Marty is not my son. Marty is my child. And a lot of people say, well, Marty's over 18. You shouldn't be calling them your child. So then I say, well, they're my adult child. But, you guys have parents, hopefully. Of course, my parents have passed on. But, it's even when my mother was in her 80s, and I was technically a senior citizen, I was still her child. You're forever, your children are forever your children, and your parents are forever your parents, even when they're gone if you're Christian. But so people sometimes will try to correct me and saying, calling Marty my child. My other alternative, given that they're non-binary, since they're not my son, they're not my daughter, is to say that they're my offspring. And, I could say that. I could start saying that, but it just seems a little awkward to say that Marty's my offspring. Although it's true, it's just not in common usage. Now, Marty has an uncle, and Marty's uncle says, I'm looking for my bit of honey. My brother calls Marty his nibbling. Instead of niece or nephew, it's nibbling. And instead of saying brother or sister, we would say sibling. And if Marty was to address the previous aunt or uncle, it would be pibbling. I kid you not, pibbling is a word. And so I'm learning all this new vocabulary that corresponds with the LGBTQ culture. So if you're out there in the wild and you hear somebody called something like MX, we have gender titles, and I don't like gender titles to start with. I never have, not since I was a young person. But we've got Mr., Ms., Miss, and Mrs. And what the non-binary community uses is, instead of MR or MS, they use MX. And they also use a word that starts with Z. I need to look that word up. Now, we haven't started using those words here in this household, but there is, and I don't have anything against using them. I kind of said that like that, we don't use that. No, it's not a condescending thing. It's just that we haven't learned how to bring it into common practice here. And also, I'm kind of aware that since Marty's non-binary and they have autism spectrum disorder, and we have kind of our own language about things, about life, to start with. So if we continue down this road where we have different words than most people in society, we might need translators. And I don't want to have to go around having things translated for us, or me having to translate things. Of course, it's Marty's a millennial, and I'm a cusper between Gen X and baby boomers. And so the vocabulary now is a lot different than it was, back in my day. So, or even, I don't know, last week, things changed so fast that it's hard to keep up with. My head's spinning sometimes, like, oh, okay, we're going to do this now instead of that. And it's okay. That's life. The only thing constant in life is change. That's why Jesus spoke in parables in the Bible. Hold on a minute. I'm going to have some trail mix. Every day for the last 3 days, at some point in the day, I've had a peanut butter and banana sandwich. This is a sweet and salty trail mix. That it is very salty. This is gluten-free. Good source of protein. Has sunflower seeds. The sunflower seeds, I ordered some. That's one order that I'm waiting for. Sunflower seeds are a good source of magnesium. I don't know of any options going on today, except for East Coast Resellers. I think it's on at 10:30. And usually when those auctions are during the day, they're not on Toochman's auctions. But anyway, they're usually at Yarn Again, which is Teresa, or Dawn Southern Finds, which is obviously Dawn. But at some point in time, I've had all this protein and coffee now, but I probably need to go pass out around 1 o'clock. And switch my sleeping hours. I've got to work it out to where I can be awake and alert from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. So I need to take it easy, and I need to get my sleeping hours switched around. But it's on Grandma's Closet if you want to see whether I make it or not, and get everything switched around. I hope you all are connecting to each other. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Oh my goodness. I have pulled this out. I was looking for something over this cell. And it was just one of those things that was time appropriate. But now that too much time has gone by, I don't know whether I'd want to sell it or not. Oh, this is a sticker I need to put somewhere else. This is from Brad, All Things Country. That's his channel sticker. Had a lot of people promise me channel stickers and never send them. But it's okay. Brad sent me one. And Bob and Jeff Bill sent me one. So I got 3 stickers from fishing channels. But and I've got some I found the other day in another room. You get some of this stuff organized. Oh, this is a business. Well, it's a shape of a business card. Thank God, whom I serve, as I remember my prayers. 2 Timothy 1:3. That's a sweet verse. Put this over here with my business card. I'm going to maybe throw that in a package going to somebody someday. But I have a whole bunch of stuff over here. This is a thank you card that many thanks that somebody sent to me, but I went ahead and I cut it in half so I can write on the back of this a note to somebody. Like, I appreciate you and what you've done for me. Okay. I thought about selling earrings. Good morning, Lori. So good to see you. I've got a bunch of earrings. And since Marty is non-binary now, they don't wear earrings. I thought I'd pass down some jewelry. But, and Marty does wear necklaces and bracelets sometimes, but they just do not want to wear earrings. So I can only wear so many pairs of earrings, right, Lori? Lori is a Florida reseller. She bought some brains from me. I bought brain molds from Teresa. Speaking of Teresa. And I bought all of her brains. So when I did the unboxing, and I don't know if it's aired yet or not, I said that I bought all of Teresa's brains. And if she was doing something goofy on the screen at the time, I was like, my fault that she was doing something goofy. But I still haven't gotten my delivery. I need to check on where the guy is. I love the little maps in Amazon where you can tell where the delivery guy is. But join me at Glam Closet at 8:30 tomorrow evening. Hopefully I'll be awake when it's my time slot. But please join me. And for the Classic Crap Pride Auction at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Grandma's Closet. And you all have a wonderful and blessed day.